You have, what have I been telling you guys for over almost at this point 2 years when it came to allowing conservative right-wing rhetoric to permeate in gaming? I've said, and there's evidence of this, that they will fuck you over because they're not on your side. They don't care about you. They're just using you as a way to get what they want. And now we are back in the fucking 90s, baby. And not in the fun way, not in the way that the weird AI people want you to think. We are back in the 90s in the worst way. This is from Slasher. Fox News host laying the blame on gamers, FBI agents on CNN saying violent video games caused this. Kennedy wants the government to research links to mass shootings and first-person shooters. It's 1998. This was from, I put this in my video, right? And I was talking about how video games are at the core of this, but I'll let them play.
A strong link to video games, online video games. And I think something of the generation, these individuals are around 22 years old. This is something that is very common for them, gaming. And we see in the FBI and in many investigations, a lot of these people get involved in this fantasy world and they're in these video games, playing these games, and then it turns into a reality. And that, you know, deciphering between the fantasy world and the reality, that is something that they will definitely be looking into from a behavioral analysis perspective.
So, like, first off, can we just agree? Why is she talking about this as if we don't know what computers are? They're in this cyber world. You know what this reminds me of?
Issue. Do you know anything about hackers? Can you jam with the console cowboys in cyberspace? What? Ever read Neuromancer? Huh? Ever experienced the new wave? Next wave? Dream wave? Or cyberpunk? I didn't think so. I'll handle the hacker stories.
Yeah, I guess you should. Where'd you learn about all this hacker stuff?
In there. It's a world where you're judged by what you say and think, not by what you look like. A world where curiosity and imagination equals power. We need more paper. Let's go, people. Work with me.
1990s Max Mouse, Julia Stiles. You were so ahead of your time. That's what that shit reminds me of.
A strong link to video games, online video games. And I think something of the generation, these individuals are around 22 years old. This is something that is very common for them, gaming. And we see in the FBI and in many investigations, a lot of these people get involved in this fantasy world and they're in these video games, playing these games, and then it turns into a reality. And
they're in these cyber worlds, in these video games, playing these games, and then it turns into a reality. No, that's not how it works. But also, oh, you remember the slime monster? Yeah, Gooey Gus. But this was from 10 hours ago from Ken Klippenstein.
With Charlie, just based on opinion, you can't help but think with social media and the education system and the fact that we have gaming, which is becoming like a bigger problem because people are seeing others as avatars instead of actual human beings. I think this gets worse before it gets better, but it was we have this
these people as avatars instead of actual human beings. What are we doing? What are we talking about? What are we actually talking about? Hey, what's up? We're just ranting about some shit before we talk about some other shit. But like, what are we talking about? Seeing other people? What game are they trying to blame here? Any game. Literally, Geraldo Rivera was trying to, I gotta show you guys this shit. Mind you, if you saw my my short on YouTube, you know I'm gonna show you, but Geraldo Rivera chimed in on this, and it is the funniest shit you'll if you guys should obviously be aware of video games. It is the funniest shit. It is the funniest shit you'll see. All right, okay. So this is what Geraldo Rivera said. Whether Tyler Robinson faces the firing squad in Utah for the murder of Charlie Kirk, my guess is the accused killer will probably have been motivated more by Halo. And similar fantasy role play than by substantive political discord. The game features grunts versus elites. I'm guessing no one wants to be an elite. And I now listen, I am not a Halo historian. I'm not this person who knows my Halo, but I have played Halo enough to know it's a real fucking tweet. You can look it up. I know enough about Halo to know that it's not grunts versus elites because they're on the same fucking team. In fact, it'd be the Spartans versus the elites and the grunts. But I am 99% confident he took that as instead of like being like names for certain troops, he took that as socioeconomic classes. Like literally in the game Halo, he thinks that it is the grunts versus the elites, which might be a cool game. But these people are so far removed from video games that they think Halo could radicalize anybody. And they think that Halo is a role-play fantasy game. Halo. And this is the ideological side that gamers like Asmongold, Tectone, Smash JT, like all those guys who are gamers, this is the ideological side that they have attached themselves to. People who are trying to pin an assassination on video games like Halo, not even fucking Hitman. Like not like Sniper Elite, not like Grand Theft Auto, although I'm sure that's coming up. And if you had seen my video talking about this, where like Robert Kennedy Jr. also is talking about video games being a problem. Like we are heading back to the 90s because they have allowed for conservative values to overtake everything in the gaming sphere, right? Through them saying the shit's woke and lame and gay. And it's woke and gay because you have different people in games that they don't like. Once you start to accept that, this was inevitable. And I've said this much multiple times. This was always going to happen. Just like with Collective Shout. That was going to happen the second people started saying we shouldn't have queers in games. We shouldn't have trans people in games. Once you decide what types of people or what kind of content can't be put in the game, you open the door for bad actors to use that veneer to enact their own ideas. These people don't play video games. They think Halo is radicalizing people. And it's not just Geraldo. It is people in the government, the administration. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. isn't some rando. He is in the Trump administration and he's pointing the finger at video games. Which is not funny that got the shot and JT are going to each other's throats. Honestly, I saw that post. I made fun of it. Smash JT getting for defamation because he called them pedophiles. And I'm just like, yeah, dude. Like, and I'll tell you straight up, here's my, well, I have multiple problems with Smash JT in particular. I think he's a coward and a liar and a grifter. But my problem with him in this regard is you had a target that people already didn't like, right? You had Collective Shout. People already didn't like him. And instead of being truthful and just saying what they did, he has to add extra shit to make it sensational because all Smash JT cares about is getting views. That's fucking it. At the end of the day, this man has no convictions. I promise you, it's not just him, right? It's pretty much most of those grifters, but I promise you, if tomorrow the government is like, hey, we're fucked up, we're so sorry, wokeness is back in a big way, we're instituting DEI all over the place, they would fall in line. And I know that because Smash JT has a tweet that's only 5 years old, some of them 4 years old, defending Black Lives Matter. And now it's him. Now he went from defending Black Lives Matter to doing this shit. Hold on, where is it? Did I bookmark it? I didn't bookmark it, but I know it's my Twitter. It's my profile. Hold on. Be patient with me, please. Here we go. So this is him responding to Mongoloid. If you guys don't know who Mongoloid is, honestly, I'm so happy you don't know who these people are. You saved your brain. But Mongoloid is a loser, one of those terminal losers online who they love because he complains about titty physics in anime and video games. And like, that's literally what he does. Did you know that in the wake of George Floyd, 99% of the gaming company support making them richer and more powerful were canceling events, donating money, and pretending to be more moral force in the world? Yet when it came to Charlie Kirk's event, all of them stayed silent. I want to really break this down for the people in the back. The reason why people galvanized behind the death of George Floyd was because it was enacted by the state, right? It was the police that killed him. Derek Chauvin killed him. That's why the Black Lives Matter movement happened. And it wasn't because it was the only time police brutality ended the life of a black person. That happened many fucking times, right? Many times. I mean, shit. You had like Michael Brown. You had fucking oh my God. Who is that? You had Tamir Rice. Like, you had a pattern of this happening. This was just the final straw. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Whatever expression you like best. And the timing of it just so happened to coincide with, like, you know, COVID. So people had time to get into the streets, and everyone had time to get into the streets. So that's what happened. That's why they made those statements like that. What the fuck did you want them to do about Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated by the person of the state. He was killed by a man by the name of Tyler Robinson, who may or may not be in a relationship with a trans person, if that fucking matters. And he just hated specifically Charlie Kirk. What would you want the video game companies to do about that? What do you want them to put a Charlie Kirk pen in fucking Call of Duty? Because I think that'd be, given the circumstance, highly inappropriate. Like, but what would you want them to do? What would you want Madden or NBA 2K to do? Like, why would Naughty Dog? Like what do you want? And then the fact that he's like, 99% of the gaming company support making them richer and more powerful. Like, what the fuck? What point are you trying to make? Yeah, dude, gaming companies have money. They have power. We were giving them money before that and after that. Like, it's such a non-point. But oh my God, I didn't see his last part. Hold on. After wrestling for a long time with a certain degree of addiction to video games, I realized long ago that the only moral choice, if you truly hold a set of values, is to boycott these companies forever. Even if it means giving up your favorite franchises, they do not like you. 76 likes. 76 likes. Boycott video games forever. Forever, you guys. They did this one thing you didn't like, and what they did was not fucking platform a white supremacist. Boycott them forever. How dare they? But now let's listen to the eloquent Smash JT and see his normal, totally reasonable response.
We do not feel the right time now is the time for celebration. And for now, we want to stand back and allow more important voices to be heard. Apparently, this is the whole, you feel bad for being, like, your shame for being white or not being black. It's like, because I'm not black people are better than me and have more important voices than me, and they should be heard more than me. Like, what even is this mentality? It is lunacy, absolute lunacy.
I would agree with you there. I do think it's absolute lunacy, because only a lunatic would have that as a takeaway. or if you're a lying grifter who's racist, and we know you're racist, you can't deny it. We saw the blackface you did. He's reading a tweet from PlayStation in June of the year where, Black Lives Matter kicked off. Notice how he added in this part.
Black people are better than me.
Nowhere in their statement did it seem that black people are better. Anyone with the brain could understand that now is not the time for non-black voices to be speaking or platformed during the Black Lives Matter movement. Much like if, I don't know, let's say that there was some sort of horrible event happening in the world overseas, generic areas somewhere in the Middle East, who knows? And people were like, damn, that shit's fucked up. We should elevate those people's voices who are suffering under an oppressive regime that may or may be backed by the most powerful country on the planet. You would take that as, oh, these completely made up people are better than Americans? Like, that's your thought process? It's insane. Now, mind you, he's saying all this shit, right? Here's Smash JT fucking 5 years ago. White man shares deep thoughts about the death of George Floyd in front of thousands of dollars of game material. Are you serious right now? You really know better. Take a look in the mirror, Jeremy. I will be participating in Blackout Tuesday tomorrow. No social media posting and hope to bring attention to police brutality and racial injustice. I encourage everyone to do the same. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag BLM. So when I say this shit, when I tell you guys that I know these people, like I know what they're about. That's what I mean when I say these people are grifters and they're not serious people. They will do anything as long as it benefits them. I'm telling you, if tomorrow we suddenly were transported back to 2020 in terms of like the political atmosphere, he would be saying shit like that left and right. He'd be pro-Palestine. He would be all about like women's rights. He would be the first person to say, hey, we shouldn't be silencing people because of difference of opinion. We shouldn't be creating lists to put these companies on. He'd be one of the first people to do that. Radicalization pipeline is real. It's always thought that people dipping their toes. Like, of course, it is. It is. And it's because, right? It's because Gamergate. Gamergate, I want to do a video on this so bad. I actually downloaded this book called Meme Wars. Alyssa always talks about it. So I was listening, giving it a shot, and like, I truly believe Gamergate is one of the most pivotal moments in American political history. Like top 5 moment in the worst way. But yes, people, and that's why I said in my video 10 months ago. And I was like, this is how the right dominates gaming. This is how it happens. Steve Bannon, right? He saw that there was a group of angry white people on the internet that he could direct that anger towards a political machine. And now, look at where we are. Look, just in terms of video games. You can't find a video game coming out that's not already being slandered by these guys. You know Ghost of Yote was on their radar to begin with. Yeah, it's true. You know it's true. So you had... Yes, the right does dominate video games, especially in terms of, at very least, the discourse of it. 100%. 100%. Because they lie. Lies are faster than the truth. Every time I have to make, or other people make a video debunking someone's lies, we'll get a fraction of the views, a fraction of the exposure, and they'll get hundreds of thousands of views and likes, and on to the next. And there's no fallout for that. They don't have to go back and make a correction. They don't have to say, hey, we were wrong about Assassin's Creed Shadows, actually. Hi, I'm Indiamon, and I'm a lying dumbass. And I was wrong about the reasons why Assassin's Creed Shadows had these characters. I was just simply trying to make... Nope, now it's on to the next one. And then we're left with having to sift through the bullshit, find out what's true, make, hey, actually, this is why it's happened. That's why I made that video about conspiracy theorists ruining gaming discourse, too. because that's where we're at, where you can just say shit. Exactly. By the time we do your research, there's already 3 more lies. I mean, holy shit. Sung Cho, Pro ZD. That whole thing about him saying that voice actors should match the race of their characters, he literally never said that. That was a lie started by Rev Says Des. And then people are just like, yeah, I saw that tweet. Like, no, you didn't, because that tweet didn't exist. That article that you locked that from was a video from Rev that was circulated through your spaces. He was being slandered for something he didn't say for years. And it was just a lie. I looked into it. It was a fucking lie. But the damage is already done. They don't care. And that's where we are now. Where you don't have to care. You can just fucking lie. I wish I had no fucking standards and morals. I wish I could just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. What game's coming out next? Ghost of Yota? Yeah, it's woke because Erika Ishii kidnapped a Sucker Punch CEO's daughter and said, if you don't put me in the game, I'm gonna deport her. And it's like, yeah, okay. Sure. And the lies that they can get away with are so insane. Like literally in that video about conspiracy theories, I talked about that. The fact that Indian Mon said that now listen, if you know anything about game design or the creative process at all, his statement that programmers weren't aware that they changed characters until they were doing like an internal demo, like showing off like the new animation ever, is so unbelievably stupid to buy into, because like that would require a reworking on a massive scale. You can't just swap out a model of a 5'8" Japanese man with a 6'2" black man and expect the eye lines to automatically match up, the animations to be the same, the story to be the same. Like there was so much that would have had to have happened if his idea was true. Mostly impossible technology, is what I'm saying. Remember the Sonic movie? All they did was change ugly Sonic into the more cute Sonic. And that cost them an additional like 6-7 months of work to do, because they had to change eyeline and lighting and rigging and all this stuff for that character, just for one character. And it's not an interactive medium. But then they're like, yeah, no, there was originally supposed to be Japanese guys, and suddenly it was Yasuke. It's like, what the fuck? Ghost of Yota, did I watch the Nintendo Direct? I didn't. We don't watch that on stream today. But like, even their shit with Ghost of Yota, it's all because of, oh, I didn't show you guys this. I mean, I did a video, but there's an update to the Steam curator page. Charlie tweets detected. I think on my video, it was at like 5,000 followers. It's at 23,000 followers now. And all of this is just the vaguest shit you'll ever see. Project Haven, what's it about? Who knows? But they recommended it. Why? Was against what happened to Charlie. Here's my thing too. Let's say the games that he's saying these are safe, you should support them because they're against what happened to Charlie. What if in the game they are fully against everything Charlie Cook stood for? What if that game was talking about completely beating up people who say the shit that Charlie said? What if this game was about killing Nazis? What if this game was about finding white supremacists and beating them up? What if this game was about hunting down conservative Christians and gunning down their homes? You have no idea what these games are even fucking about. You don't know what's in these games. Like what the fuck is this? Don't recommend this game because Dev inaccurately said Charlie Kirk wished death on his friends. Blue Sky. Is there a link to this? No. Just don't play it because the dev inaccurately said Charlie Kirk wished death on his friends. Blue Sky. The fuck? What are you having a stroke? Like what the fuck was going on, man? And I have to keep saying this because people will just take shit out of context. He was not a good person, but no, he didn't deserve to be executed. Okay. But I'm not pro gun violence, but I'm also not this idiot who's like, whoa, what do you mean violent rhetoric that he's been ramping up for years radicalize people in either direction to take action? What are you talking about? Again, there was a shooter in 2019 in El Paso, Texas, who mentioned Charlie Kirk and about his great replacement theory shit. Like, you can be radicalized in either direction, but people cannot pretend that violent rhetoric does not have this as an outcome. You just can't. You can't live in a society in where people, because of free speech, right, are saying shit like trans people are abominations against God, or, you know, that Brian Kilmeade said you should literally kill homeless people. And then today there was a shooting in Minneapolis that killed like 8 homeless people. Like, there's cause and effect. You can't be, even if you didn't pull the trigger, you can't spew that much shit out there and then expect it to not fall back onto you. It's just, you can't. But like this fucking detecting site, it's not even like funny like the woke detective ones. This is just like, because at least like the woke content detective ones and like the sweet baby detective ones, if you squint really hard, really, really, really fucking hard, and like delete a couple of brain cells, you can kind of see that they just don't want their games to be sullied or altered in a way that is promoting a message. They're still very wrong and stupid, but you can at least like, okay, I'll lobotomize myself slightly and I got it. But with this is simply, they said something about someone unrelated to video games. And that's enough to make a list of games. You can't play Spider-Man 2. Oh, you can play this game. Why? Because they're a friend of the group. Please support. So we're not even consistent with the idea of this group, right? It's not about people who said nice things or bad things about Charlie Kirk anymore. It's just friend of the group. Please support. Please support this game. Friend of the group. Like, it's like just friends of the group. Just friends of the group. Lithium fought back against woke ideology. Support this dev. Okay, you fought against woke ideology, but this is not woke content detector, right? This is Charlie's tweets. It's a people who either said good things about Charlie or bad things about Charlie. We've already gone against, but you can't play any Remedy games. Community manager on Blue Sky dismissed a call to not threaten violence, ghoulish behavior. So you can't play any Remedy games. Awesome. Covered celebrated September 10th on Blue Sky. On Blue Sky, Dev shouted out a user-generated map that recreates the site of September 10th. Why is she saying September 10th like it's fucking 9/11? And just real quick, look at the games you can't play. Quake, System Shock 2, Shadow Man, Thin Gold from Night Dive Studio. You can't play Blade Runner. You can't play any Quake. You can't play Turok. You can't play A Had Mouth and a Scream. You can't play The Thing. You can't play Tomb Raider. Any of the Tomb Raiders. You can't play Final Fantasy Online because numerous awful posts from employees' Blue Sky account, including a report that mentioned purging people. Can't play Starfield, like I said before. Oh, but you can play Kingdom Come Deliverance and Deliverance 2. So you get to play essentially one game. Yeah, no one's gonna play Doom or Skyrim. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is so stupid. Marathon hasn't even come out yet. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. Lords of the Fallen is a safe game. Like, this is so fucking stupid. You can't play Ghost of Yote or Ghost of Tsushima. You can't play Overwatch. You can't play Hive Swap. Like, because they made a mean tweet, or even, let's be real, they just didn't say something nice about him. That's it. And I don't mean like they said something bad. I mean, they didn't say something nice about him. And that's enough. Like, this is where we're at, you guys. They just made shit up. There's no proof. You know how easy it is to just say, don't support these guys. They said a mean thing, and then not link to the thing that they said? You're telling me this happened on Blue Sky? You're telling me this happened on Twitter, but you don't have the link to when it happened? I'm just supposed to take your word for it? Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? Like, again, that's a content detecting list for not even content, for people's tweeting about Charlie Kirk. This shit's going to die off by next month. No one's going to care. No one's going to care. The problem is that him not being seen as radical is because they've moved so far right that he's considered a moderate. And the shit that he said is so bad that a reporter from the Washington Post used one of his quotes in her post about him and got fired. Exactly. The thing is too is they're acting as if a random person on Blue Sky has enough power or equal power to any conservative on Twitter. If you are a conservative or evangelical on Twitter, I'm not even kidding, you have a like 70% chance to have your thoughts heard and read by Elon Musk or fucking JD Vance or any Republican. There's a real chance that they will interact with you. I think Grum's got interaction with someone in the government, or Elon Musk, right? Like, there's a real chance. So to be like people on Blue Sky, yeah, let's go to the sucker punch and get this person fucking fired. And now you have Jimmy Kimmel fired because he made a comment about Charlie Kirk, which is even not bad. Yeah, people are losing their jobs. And then they'll be like, well, this is what the left always done. I would love for I will pay you $100 if you can find a harassment campaign to this extent that the left has done that's resulted in people losing their jobs, was resulted in fucking sitting congressmen floating ideas such as revoking the visas of people who criticize Charlie Kirk. Please tell me when did that happen? I just remember the Hogwarts Legacy shit. And that was just someone made a website. I was stupid. Oh, but the gamers, you guys, the gamers are... But we're the sensitive ones. I'm the one who wants, what did that guy say? I'm the one who's being sensitive. I'm the one who's lost the plot, the fight, and the people. But keep preaching the lies. They won't be saving you anymore. And of course, it's a fucking anime profile. Like a fucking course, it's an anime profile. Of course. Oh my God, a fucking course. Of course.